talk about the ripple effect and how your little actions can really make a big difference. Isn't it amazing how we can turn on the tap and have a clean drink of water and never think twice about it? Well, that's not the case for many people in the developing world. I've traveled extensively in Africa, and more often than not in the rural areas, this is more typical of the water that people have to drink. Very dangerous, affects the health, children die. In 2006, a friend of mine sent me an email pleading me to find somebody that could please help their community have access to water. Their children were dying. I took the project to my middle school, and the students and the staff embraced the project. We studied the water crisis, we learned about Kenya, and the kids raised enough funds to bring water to Kathungu village. It changed the life for the people in that village, but what I found is it also changed the lives of the children in my classroom. They learned that their actions had impact that really made a difference. The following year, I founded H2O for Life, a nonprofit with the mission to educate, engage, and inspire youth to take global and local actions about water. As we develop curriculum, what I really found, this is not just a developing world problem, it's a problem for everyone on the earth. One of the things that we find with kids is that a statistic that really affects them is that the water that existed billions of years ago is the same water that exists today. We're drinking the water of the dinosaurs. Now that's pretty interesting because it shows that water is interrelated and interconnected. The water cycle is a closed ecosystem. The water we had in the past is the water we have today, and it's the water we'll have in the future, and we have to protect those resources. What we do in our backyard affects people that live next to us and affects people that live downstream from us. So when we look at water problems, we can't make a decision in a vacuum. We need to consider how those actions are affecting other people. 1% of the water in the world is available for human consumption. We need to keep that in mind. I began to realize that the water crisis is going to affect all of us. We must make a conscious effort to take a look at water and decide how we can conserve and protect this irreplaceable resource because future generations are depending on us to get it right. The world statistics are compelling and thought-provoking. Almost 1 billion people in the world lack access to clean water. That's 3 times the population of the United States. Every 20 seconds, a child dies due to a water-related illness. That's the equivalent of 4 jumbo jets crashing every single day, and the world hardly takes a look. These are all solvable problems. To meet this problem, though, is going to take a radical shift in our behaviors and our thinking. But let's bring the issue down to the local issues in White Bear Lake. We have an emerging worldwide water shortage, and it's a crisis. My family has lived in White Bear Lake for 5 generations. That's 5 generations enjoying this beautiful community. And the lake has been a big part of our life. Now, we all know that White Bear Lake is in crisis. The water level's the lowest it's been in 60 years. It's dropped 6 feet. The beaches are closed. We can't enjoy this resource like we have in the future. But what are we going to do about it, and what do we know? I think when the water level started dropping, most of us thought that if we had adequate rainfall, the lake would fill back up and the problem might be solved. But that hasn't happened. Another theory was perhaps there was a mysterious leak in the lake. We did studies. If we could find that leak, we could take a big plug, put it in, fill up the lake, and life would go on. But we're finding that's also not the case. So recent studies have come back, just recently, I read it in the press last week, that it's a more complex problem than we thought. It's about surface water, groundwater, and low rainfall. So it's going to take a while to really sort out what are the things that are going to change what happens with us. So where do we start? I truly believe there won't be a quick fix. It took years to get here, and it will take time to bring about change. As Benjamin Franklin stated years ago, we don't know the worth of water until the well runs dry. We can't afford to wait. We need to start today. I don't pretend to have all the answers, but I have a few suggestions. Last September, the UN Interaction Council completed a report about world water that they presented to the UN General Assembly. What they concluded applies to every nation, local community, and to you and to me. The Prime Minister of Canada stated, "Using water the way we have in the past simply will not sustain humanity in the future." That's a pretty important statement. It isn't about scarcity, it's about the governance of water. So we must manage our water resources more effectively and efficiently, and we must radically change attitudes toward water conservation, reuse, and replenishment. We can't forget that water is interrelated and transcends political borders. We need a worldwide policy to ensure that people have access to clean, potable water while balancing the needs of the industry and environment. Our world security and peace depend on countries working together. If we fail, the next wars will be fought over water. In the US, we need a national, state, and local policies that set standards, that look at how new wells, new businesses, and development affect our current sources of water and how our water sources will be protected. These are issues that require government regulations, but as concerned citizens, we all need to be paying attention, and we need to have our opinions and share our voice. But as individuals, we can change conservation, and we can help prevent pollution in our lakes. Hope I got the right side. Where do we start? The two key things that we need to happen are to change attitudes and change behaviors. We can't take our water for granted. And today is the day that I think we can change those behaviors. A key to behavior change is education. To quote Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon we have with which to change the world. If you look at seatbelts, you look at smoking, anything that's changed, it's been education paired with some regulation. So I really believe that we need to educate ourselves and our communities about what's going on with our water. We need to begin an educational campaign locally to conserve and preserve water now. Now, Joe Emerson, the mayor of White Bear Lake, joined the Mayor's Challenge to conserve water. It's going on the whole month of April. Look on the website, find out some information, become part of the challenge, read about it, and find out what you can do. We all know of ways to conserve water. Any kindergartner can give you a list of what you can do to save water. Turn off the water when you brush your teeth, fix all the leaks around your home, use a rain barrel and rainwater to water your plants, take shorter showers, and it goes on and on. Water your lawns when needed. How many of you drive around the community after a rainstorm and automatic sprinklers are watering the lawn that has been watered? It's careless behavior, it's inattentive behavior, and we need to stop. We need to start paying attention. There are simple actions we can take, but are we implementing them? I don't think we are, but why aren't we implementing these actions? I think we believe that those little actions don't make a difference. Here's one example. If you were to flush your toilet one less time per day, everybody across the nation, and I don't think that would be hard to do, because think about it, you could do that in your households. It would fill a lake a mile wide, a mile deep, and 4 feet deep. So you can save water just with one simple action. We're all in this together, and what if today you became part of the ripple effect and began implementing water-saving actions? If we want our children, our grandchildren, and future generations to have the opportunity to have plentiful water and enjoyment of our wonderful Minnesota resources, we need to take action. In closing, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Let's start with a ripple, and let's create a wave. Thank you.